We're going to talk about today about small businesses running fingerprinting services from their home as a home-based fingerprinting business. When we talk about that, we're going to focus on doing business from home, where you may fingerprint clients at your home, or you might run your office from your home, but meet your clients at their location, at a virtual office, or perhaps somewhere at your home again, front yard, garage, front part of your home. We're going to talk about different things like that and the pros and cons to all of that there. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section. We try to get your questions answered throughout this session right here. All right, let's go ahead and move forward here. Just bear with me here for again. All right, first thing is, the question we get all the time, can I run the fingerprint business from home? Yes, you can. When we talk about fingerprinting though, we're saying in general, it could be ink cart fingerprinting or live scan fingerprinting. And for those who are not sure about what live scan is where you fingerprint somebody on an electronic device. I think last we showed you guys an image or picture of one, and we have one right here. This is just one type of a live scan device. There's different types out there, approved for certain type of organizations, certain type of states, certain type of government agencies, and fun things like that. In regards to ink card fingerprinting, pretty much where you fingerprint somebody on paper and ink, and you roll the fingers across the paper or the ink card to capture the prints. So we're not going to focus on either one specifically. We're just going to say fingerprinting in general regarding running a home-based business from fingerprinting. Question is, for you guys out there, if you plan to start some type of fingerprint business you currently do, share what you'd like to know more about it. Let us know how you're doing it right now. How are you adapting with COVID-19, running a small operation or a large operation as a home-based provider, providing fingerprint services there? So right off the back, fingerprinting. My concern is the safety for everybody out there. If you choose to operate a service out of your home, be safe. Not just for your health reason for COVID-19, but also for your livelihood and also for the safety and well-being of your family. There's certain people out there who don't have the best interest for everybody. So one thing I do recommend, if you plan to run the office from your home and you have the clients come to your home to get fingerprinted, don't be there by yourself. Have someone else in the household with you while you're meeting your clients. Have some type of safety precautions set aside there, just in case something goes sideways, to call for help or assistance. Another thing we do recommend, fix it where there's no walk-ins, especially this time of day, where they have to schedule an appointment to come to your location. That way you anticipate somebody coming to your house at 10 o'clock in the morning or 5 p.m. in the evening. You should know who it is ahead of time. So have some type of service where you can have your clients go online and schedule for the appointment ahead of time before they come to your location. Another thing is, I don't want you guys, like I said a few seconds ago, don't have any walk-ins. It's just not safe. But another thing is, when you schedule your services online, we strongly recommend that you go ahead and give them the address to your location after they pay and confirm for their appointment. You think about paying. Glad you brought that up also. You read my mind. I read your mind. So when you schedule online, there's certain services out there, certain softwares you can use that's web-based where they could pay online ahead of time to schedule their appointment. And when they come there, there's less transactions with the touching surfaces, touching currency and things like that. And they're not looking over your shoulder if they give you cash on site. Try to see if you got your money stashed at. So if you pay online, all that's avoided. Another thing we recommend, if you haven't come to your home for fingerprinting, have it where you get some type of camera where they ring that doorbell or something like that. You can see who it is at your front door or at your gate. Have it sometime you can record it when they come up to your house. You got some type of video live feed. You can see who it is actually, if you plan to have them fingerprint at your home. They're just small things we recommend. And going back to your address, when they schedule online, You can fix it where they get the email confirmation or the confirmation on the computer screen to show your address at that point. That way, the people not just going to the website to look for where you're going to be at and just show up at the blue without even notifying you ahead of time. So we do recommend you don't promote your address for appointments till after they pay for the service. That way, again, the email confirmation, also the confirmation page where to go to. And for your website, because you should have a website also, there's certain services that can use that can look up your website address and get your physical address where you're at. So when you register for a domain name, for example, for your website, say it could be LiveScan JW, jwlivescan.com. Wow, that's pretty cool. Certain domains will ask you for an address. Well, will ask you for an address when you register for a domain or a website address. We recommend you don't put your address there. Perhaps use something like a different address, like a virtual office address, or fix it where you can pay for additional services like $10 a year, additional services to block your private information. So if you do have to list your personal home address, use this service where you're able to block your personal information so you just can't go to a website and look up your address and see where you're at. Like, for example, this website called Whois, WHOIS.com. You can go ahead and type in their website URL, like jwlivescan.com, and it will show you all the person's information, what day they had the domain registered, what day is due for renewal, their contact information, their contact address. You can block all that information there from the public. So just in case you guys didn't know that there, if you already have a domain name and you listed your home address, we strongly recommend you go ahead and block it as a privacy, like $10 a year. Another thing about working from a home-based operation, my personal feeling is don't have them come to your home unless you have a setting that's conducted for fingerprinting on site. I've seen places where people do fingerprinting at their home, but they're working from their garage. I've seen places people working from home, when people come to their location or their home, they go right to the first room as soon as they enter the door, like a small office right by the front door. And also be aware of a location when people have people come to their home, they get to the front yard or a side gate where there's a table there, a little overhang from the sunlight and stuff, to fingerprint the clients outside. So just different things you could think about for fingerprinting from home, but also remember safety is very important. And you have people coming to your location, and there's also still a big issue for COVID-19. But people do it. They have a lot of things put in place to make that happen. Now, we're still talking about they coming to your home for fingerprinting. When you have them come to your location for fingerprinting, we recommend also you get yourself some type of a fan that's behind you, and behind you. So when you fingerprint the applicant, the fresh air is coming from behind you forward, pushing air out front, pushing the air outside, pushing that air away from you and the applicant. You don't want to have a fan blowing into both of you guys' faces, because if the person is kind of standing sideways in front of you, you got that breath, that air coming towards you. So we do recommend you have the fan behind you, the technician, to have the fresh air blowing from behind your backward, from your back towards the front, blowing outside the house, blowing away from you. If it's inside a house, get yourself a smaller fan that's on your desk that blows away from you guys. There's different types of fans. One that we use is something like this from time to time. There's different fans out there. This will call them Bionair or something like that there. But find your fan that's pretty powerful and quiet if possible, that might rotate back and forth a little bit behind you, where the air is always blowing away from you. Or maybe sideways from the table, both ways, air is blowing from both sides of the table, but away from both you guys there. Okay, just example of that right there. Just example of that. Now, let's talk about running a home-based operation, but you want the clients to meet you at a different location, like a virtual office. And what a virtual office is where you go to a location and pick up your mail, but your office is not really there. You don't have a desk and chair there every day, 24/7, 7 days a week. Is where you go there and you rent out space for 12 hours a month, for 40 hours a month, for 6 hours a month. Or you could go there sometime just to pick up your mail. They could take your calls, they could receive your faxes, and you can schedule where you're able to, like, this month here, I like to rent 4 hours out from your conference room. Or for this particular month here, on this particular days, every other Friday for this month right here, I like to get a day office. And what day office is just a location at an office you go to, and you ring out the office for half a day or a whole day. Now, if you plan to go into a physical office down the line, and you still want to use the virtual offices, what I see that's very popular and quite successful is go to a location called Executive Suite Services. Those Executive Suite Services offer virtual office services. And if you're able to go there, you could fix your schedule when they want to get fingerprinted, where every Tuesday and Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. or from 3 to 5 or something like that, fixed days, but you pay for those hours ahead of time for that month and book your appointment like that when clients come to that location at that point, and you meet them there. As soon as you finish fingerprinting your clients for that particular time frame, you go back home. You're not paying all the extra expenses having a full office there 24/7, 7 days a week for the whole year contract or a 6-month contract or a month-to-month contract or things like that from Executive Suite Services. Now, another way to run a home-based operation is where pretty much you work from home, but now the client's paying you to go to their location. That's called mobile fingerprinting. Quite popular. And for mobile fingerprinting, you can offer services, like I said earlier, live scan fingerprinting, where you fingerprint on a live scan device, or you can offer services where you can fingerprint the client on paper and ink, called ink card fingerprinting. Now, one of the most popular ink cards here in the United States, actually across the world, is called the FD258. FD dash or FD space or FD altogether, FD258 ink card. Most agencies will accept ink cards, especially if a person's coming to you for a license in a different state. And so they say, you know what, can you please fingerprint me at our office? We need 5 ink cards per person. You go there, or five ink cards total for 5 different people. You fingerprint on the paper and ink. You get the cards back to the person who brought you over there, request to come over there. They take those ink cards and they send those ink cards to the out-of-state agency who needs the licensing for a different state. Insurance companies, real estate companies, telemed services, physicians, travel nurses, all those agencies or organizations or individuals pretty much need ink card fingerprinting. If they want a license in their particular state, it's going to be a live scan. If they want a license in a different state, now they could travel to the other state and do the live scan, or they could come to you or have you come to them where you could fingerprint them on the ink card or ink cards. And then they take those ink cards and send them out to the other out-of-state agencies or out to the FBI for FBI background check to travel to a different part of the country, a different part of the world, or to the FBI for immigration purposes to get legal status here in the United States. Different reasons for ink cards. That's a whole different subject by itself. And of course, we do got some training materials, and of course for ink card fingerprinting, and also for live scan fingerprinting. Now, one question we get a lot about working from home is also, how do you market your services? How do people will come to us because they see our home, they type in the home address, and they get scared because it's at somebody's home? Let them know up front that if you want them to come to your location, let them know ahead of time you come into a resident address for your fingerprinting. Let them know ahead of time, because if you do show your address online, they're going to look it up. They're going to go to Google and research it and see where you're at. So also let your clients know. Have a website showing your office, how it looks on your website. Take some pictures. Make sure it looks very professional. Let them know how the setup is, because they want to be comfortable too. Remember, they're concerned for their health just as much as you are. So a lot of places don't want to go to large organizations anymore. They want to come to an office full of other people to get fingerprinted. They prefer us now to go to them, to their home setting, or they go to your home setting if they feel it's comfortable and safe. But whatever you choose to do, if you come into your home, have them come to a virtual office, or have them come to their location, you have to communicate with your clients to make sure everybody's on the same page about what to expect and things like that about COVID-19, that you're wearing a mask, you're wearing gloves, and you want them to do the same thing. Now, when you fingerprint them, our policy is for our team members, we also preach this heavily to our membership also, wear your gloves all the time. When you wear your gloves, they feel more safe. Wear your mask, wear a face shield. You got one of those scrub shirts, get yourself a scrub shirt. Wherever it is, be consistent but be professional when they come to your location, when they meet you at a virtual office, or when you go to their home location or their location for mobile fingerprinting. Just come professional. When you're at home and you're receiving those calls, make sure the room is very quiet. You don't want the dogs barking, jumping across your lap 24/7 while you're trying to talk to someone on the phone. If you're using your cell phone, please make sure you have a good, strong connection where you're at. One thing you don't want to have is a continuous of drop calls when you receive those calls. Just be professional. Be ready to ask certain information when they ask you about questions about fingerprinting. Be ready for that. Be ready to go ahead and schedule the appointment on the dot. If they can't do it themselves, schedule for them. Or give them a website address that's easy to remember that will redirect them to your website or point them directly to your website. Now, here's a couple of tips I'll share with you guys. We call them hacks or little hidden secrets about fingerprinting for your clients. And this is things we strongly recommend you have. If it's a home-based, a physical office, even a virtual office, certain tools you should have running a fingerprint business. Some people use a toll-free number. Some people use a regular line which has a regular area code on it, besides the toll-free number. Both of those are fine. But one thing that we found effective, we got positive feedback from our membership, is make sure you get your calls recorded. There's certain service out there that can record all your calls. And make sure you, in certain states, you have to announce that all calls are being recorded or some type of beeping in the background. It's a good thing to have. Another thing with the phone service is make sure that you get call ID. Because if you're working from home or even from an office, you might miss a call. Or you might be on a call at that time, the other team member might not be available to take the call, or might just be you yourself doing the whole thing yourself. Might not be able to take that call. So go ahead and get yourself some way of caller ID. Get yourself a service that also records the conversation. That way, if you missed the call, you can call them back. If you have a conversation, wasn't quite sure what's really going on, or there's a dispute about some issues, you can go back and review your calls. But one thing that we like about having calls recorded when they call us, gives you a higher level of professionalism, a much higher level. When they say all calls are recorded for quality insurance, it makes your business above, a notch above everybody else. Not to call these different type of fingerprint secrets or fingerprint hacks, you should have them put in place. Another thing is we recommend, and a lot of members are doing now, is get yourself a text message service if you can. There's some out there online you can use, because sometimes when you're talking to a client on the phone, you can first try and tell them the instructions how to get to your location, or try and give them instructions how to go to a certain site to schedule an appointment. You just send them a short text and come straight to them, to their phone. Or they might be lost coming to your location. You don't have time to tell them to turn left and turn right. Send them a text message, let them know where you're located at. I'm over here on block such and such, corner of Overland and Jefferson, right next to the Denny's restaurant. Third door to your left. Green door. I'll be a person outside wearing purple shoes. Whatever the case may be, but just go ahead and make sure they can reach you. So I mentioned the telephones where you have a toll-free number or a local number, which is fine. We think sometimes have a toll-free number, give it more a larger presence. If you have a local number, they know that you're local. There's pros and cons to both. Call recording is good to have. It's very good to have. You might not know why now, but later on you wish you had it, then you're glad that you did have it there. Where you have call ID. If you missed a call, you could call them back. And clients love that. We notice here, if we miss a couple of calls here, we call them back. About 50% of clients we call back will come to us. The other half will go away to different location. So what I mean by that there, when they call for a live scan fingerprinting service sometime, they want the service yesterday. They want the service the next day. It's like immediate service, nothing pre-planned 2 months from now. They want the services pretty much immediately. So if you don't answer that phone or call them back immediately or in a short period of time, you might lose that sale. But if they like you and they hear about you and they got good reviews they see about you, they appreciate the call back. It gives you bonus points, it gives you a better plug. So it does make a big difference there. Okay, give me 1 second here, folks. I need to change something here for a second. Oh, and if you got other questions like this to talk about running a home-based operation, leave your comments below in the comment section and get back with you. There's a lot more to this series here. This is just the first part of a 3-part series. And I just pretty much scratched the surface about how you can set up your office from a home-based operation, venues you could use, mobile services, executive suite services, or virtual offices, or they could come to you. We talked about the phone calls, recording calls, call ID, get yourself a toll-free number, or a number what's error code. If you use your cell phone if you use the same cell phone for personal and work, we recommend you get 2 different numbers. The service out there where you can hide your personal one and show a work number. You want to keep it separate. You want to think you're going to call at 2 o'clock in the morning, it might be an emergency or some client calling you at that time. And believe me, they will call sometime 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So how you can differentiate between work number and your personal number if you're using a cell phone. It's very important there. It makes a big difference there. It really does there. I'm going to go ahead and change this banner here for a second here. All right, then hide that there. It's good. All right. Another thing I'll share with you guys here is questions and things like that. I got some questions for you guys. We'd like to know more about it. I want to know why you want to get started in fingerprinting, or are you currently involved doing fingerprinting? Leave in comments below the reason for that. Like, why you want to get started? What's your expectations of getting fingerprinting done for the customers? Did somebody fingerprint you, and now you want to do it? We want to know why. Okay, a lot more questions involved there too. And also you should think about, well, COVID-19. If you start your own fingerprint business, are you prepared for this? What's your expectations? A lot of businesses went ahead and shut down fingerprinting since COVID-19. How it's going to affect your business? What you're going to do? There's things you should put in place for that. And I have to talk about COVID-19 because it's very, very serious. Make sure you have disinfectant, alcohol wipes, gloves, face shields, masks for your face. Every time you fingerprint somebody, you disinfect your area. You change your gloves. You wash your hands. Heck, wash your face. Put your gloves back on for the next applicant. Change your gloves for every single applicant that you're going to fingerprint. Disinfect your areas before the next person comes to you. So by saying that there, when you schedule for your appointments, when a person scheduled to come to your location for fingerprinting at your home base, you don't want to have them right next to each other every 15-minute intervals. Give yourself some slack. Give at least 15 to 30 minutes intervals between each applicant. That gives you a chance when they come to your home, it's already clean. That gives you a chance to be prepared just in case they come early a few minutes, you already get your home cleaned up for disinfecting. Just make sure of that. And when they come to you and they got extra things with them, have them keep it in the car. If they want to bring it with them, have yourself a staging area where they put the belongings at a certain location and stage right there. Now, some of our members will go and have like a little bin, and they make them put all their stuff in that bin, cell phone included, and they tie it up in that particular bin in the plastic bag, and it stays there when they finish. When they finish fingerprinting, they go over there and they get their stuff that's in the plastic bag and they take it with them. Contamination is a very serious thing out there, and they have to make sure they stay safe too. And I applaud them for that. I really do. I applaud. It's a very good idea. Ink pens. When they come to you for ink pens, When they touch the pen, put in a separate location to be disinfected for next use. Have yourself 2 trays of pens, the clean ones and the ones that have been touched, have been used. Keep them separate, 2 different pens, 2 different trash cans of pens. Okay? This is my little pen bin right here. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here. I got a question to answer here for a second. And this is from Rekha here. Let's go ahead and get this posted here. Rekha, good morning, and thank you for listening. My local police department used to offer the service, but they no longer do it. I see a need in my area. That is true. Like I mentioned a few seconds ago, and thank you for that comment there, Rekha. A lot of people need fingerprinting services. That didn't go away. Actually, it did increase for fingerprinting services. In the police stations, most of them quit fingerprinting the public unless they're being arrested or something like that. And a lot of other locations, privately owned locations, and even governmental agencies quit fingerprinting for different reasons. You have the DMVs now no longer fingerprinting places for the employees. You may have the housing department for a certain part of the country might not be fingerprinting the public right now because of COVID-19. So there is an increase in need. And a lot of live scan facilities, a lot of in-car facilities quit doing also because of COVID-19. But those who stayed in the game and were taking precautions to the extreme are not struggling. Best way I could put it. Now, some might have some challenges here and there, but pretty much what I heard from the industry out there, a lot of our members' revenue increased since COVID-19. Why? In-car fingerprinting is one of them for sure. Travel nurses, telemed. A lot of folks are working from home right now. You got call centers for people getting insurance done right now for different reasons out there. There's just a lot of reasons out there people are using fingerprinting and they need your service. So if you think about doing mobile services, we're the person for that there for you. We're the organization for that to show you how to get that done. But there is a big need for fingerprinting. And to think about it is okay, but while you're thinking, get proactive. Get some things done out there. Make some things work. It will work. If there's any questions out there, post them to us. We go ahead and get you taken care of. Okay, then. Oh, there was a question about how to find upcoming events. Our website is livescanevents.com. It's being revamped right now, but it's up. You see some upcoming sessions we have, and also upcoming events and training events we have through the National Live Scan Association. Now, we ask that you guys go ahead and subscribe to our channel, leave your comments below, and we get you guys taken care of. And if you got questions about how to get involved with mobile fingerprinting, or how to start your own home-based operation, or how to do in-car fingerprinting, or how to do live scan fingerprinting, we're here for that for you too. We're here to help you with that. I didn't have my coffee yet this morning here, so I'm kind of dry mouth right there. I'm going to share some things with you guys, some links here. That way you could get this going here. Where did it go? Here it goes. All right, it's livescanchat.com. That's livescanchat.com to schedule a one-on-one session with a member advisor.